Results, and I'm going to be doing a guide for Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on. Figured that if I'm going to start doing a guide like this, I'm going to start off with a granddaddy, the RX-78-2 Gundam, aka the Grandpa. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So what this guide is going to cover, we're going to cover the basics of the suit, its health, its boost, etc. The what each of its moves are, what they do. We're going to cover some of the basics as far as combos for melee and for while you're shooting. And the entire purpose of this video is going to be to try to keep it as concise as possible while making everything easy enough to understand, so that beginners can get into the game and also try it. And for anybody who may be interested in trying this particular suit, so that they can go ahead and have a primer for it. So let's go ahead and start. For a quick intro of the suit, the RX-78-2 Gundam, aka the Grandpa Gundam, it was introduced in the original namesake of the franchise, Mobile Suit Gundam. It is piloted in this game by Amuro Ray. It's the main reason the Federation won the 1 Year War. And as far as for this game in EXVS, I personally think this is an excellent choice for a beginner into the game. It's an all-around decent pick for anybody. It doesn't have anything really flashy, but what it lacks in flash, I feel it makes up for in straightforwardness. As far as for info, as you can see on your screen, this suit comes in at 600 HP. It is a 2000 class. It is a 2000 cost suit. You see its movement. Its movement is pretty much the average as far as the game is concerned. For tiers, for anybody really interested in tiers, it is at the top of Bronze B. In this video's description, once this gets uploaded to YouTube, I'll have a link to the EXVS tier list, which will also allow you access to the Japanese wiki, where you'll be able to get any and all information that I'm going to have here. Its primary role is as a back, so it'll be playing back for a 1.5K or a 3K. As far as for what I feel are its strengths, it does have decent melee. It has a Javelin toss, as you see here, which you can use to conserve ammo. It has the 3 different assists, but the one that you really want to use is a side assist, which is the gun tank. I'll explain why later. It has a melee counter, and this melee counter, not only is it a counter versus melees, but when you put out a shield, you can actually block shots. So instead of having to push back and forward to do your normal guard, you can just hold back and press melees or 2B, and you can block if you need to. Of course, please be aware that you should be trying to dodge more often than not. You should only block if it is a last resort. The other thing I feel is the strength of it is I think this is perfectly fine using any of the 3 bursts, shooting, fighting, extend. It can use all 3 of them comfortably. That's really up to personal preference. That said, I do suggest using shooting burst or I suggest using either shooting burst or fighting burst in that respect. Give me 1 second. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the basic moves. So we're going to start off, we're going to be using the standard notation, so we're going to be referring to A, B, C, which is the main buttons. A being your main shot. That would be the classic beam rifle. So the beam rifle, under normal circumstances, not including guts or anything like that, it deals 70 damage. As you can see on the bottom right of the screen, it has a maximum of 7 ammo. This is of the always reloading type, so every 3 seconds you will recover 1 ammo. You can use it to cancel into the sub, which is your bazooka. You can cancel the javelin to conserve ammo. You can, of course, cancel it into any and all of your assists. You can use this also as a combo ender whenever you do a melee BC follow-up. We'll talk about that a little more later. Whenever you're off angle, just like in the anime, you're going to do a back turn shot. As you can see there. Now, when you do this, I'm just going to refer to it as the new type shooting. It's faster than other off-angle shots, which is a benefit in and of itself. That being said, you do need to realize that the new type shooting is still off angle, which means that you will vernier whenever you do that shot. Now, you're noticing that I'm on the ground, it's not verniering, but if you're in the air, it will vernier and it will cost you some boost. So please be aware of that. Now, new type shooting means you're not facing the opponent. What this means is that if you're in a shooting burst, you're not going to fast fall. Let me switch to shooting burst so that you can see this a bit better. Just a second. So one of the benefits of shooting burst is that when you're in shooting burst, I forgot to set the settings on that, didn't I? Yes, I did. Just go real quick. I should have said that earlier. Whoops. Let me go ahead and reset that real quick. Whoopsie. Much better. So one of the benefits of shooting burst is that you can actually just spam your shots freely when it comes to being in that burst. That said, it's also an easy way to do a fast fall. So if you do something that's gonna, let's say, vernier you, like let's say the bazooka, you can cancel it while you're in burst. You can actually cancel it into your main, and it'll call what's called the fast fall right there. However, if you're doing a new type shooting, you're not going to. So if you're doing that and you want a fast fall, right? What you want to do is do a combo into, let's say, for example, the bazooka, and then you do your shot so that you can go ahead and fast fall. So keep that in mind. That's a bit of a negative of the new type shooting, that it'll not let you fast fall while you're doing that. That pretty much covers everything concerning the beam rifle or Bane. Let's move on to the next. With your main, you also have a charge shot. As you can see the bottom right where it shows a charge. If you hold it for the total about 2 seconds, you'll fire a charge shot. It does 120 damage, or 118 as you just saw if Guts is active. It is an instant down if you hit them with it. It does have good muzzle correction, so so if the enemies are moving around, you will adjust a little bit. It has decent bullet speed, and you can use it to punish landings. However, as you can see, it does vernier you. The other thing that sucks about it is that it does not have any inertia, so you're just gonna stop in place to shoot the shot. Last but not least, it also doesn't have very good tracking, so you can't really abuse this. So you're mainly using this as either as a combo ender, as a melee combo ender, or you'll be using it to punish landings. Now, if you hold a direction when you shoot the charge shot, or excuse me, not a direction, but if you hold forward or back, double check. No, only back. If you hold back or 2, you'll do the super napalm version. So this right here, you're going to throw the grenade, and then he's going to shoot it. It causes a stagger, as you can see there. However, this is the thing about it that's not so good. You have to commit to it. As you can see there, if you boost dash cancel it, the grenade is not going to explode. So if you do that, you're going to commit to it. Now, the good thing about it, has very quick blast radius, spreads out pretty fast. You could use it as Okizeme, or when the opponent is down, when they're getting up from you knocking them down, you can use it as that. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to use. So use it mainly as an Okizeme tool. That covers a charge shot. Let's move on. No, I'm sorry. This causes 95 damage from the blast. If the napalm itself bonks the opponent, it's going to do about 10 damage. But, what are the odds of that happening? The next move we're going to talk about is the sub, or AMB. That would be the Hyper Bazooka. Has a total of 3 ammo. Each one does 99 damage. You have to empty it in order for the weapon to reload, unlike the regular beam rifle, which is always reloading. It does count as live ammo. So since it's live ammo, that means if somebody throws a beam shot at you and they both clash, the bazooka shot will be destroyed. It also causes what's a launch down. So it doesn't knock them down, it just simply launches them down. So if the opponent gets hit by that, they can't kick out of it if you don't do a follow-up. Right? It is your standard everyday bazooka, kind of what everybody else has. It does vernier, as you can see. This is what happens if you do it when you don't have the ammo. It'll still do the animation. And you can cancel it into the Javelin. It does have a pretty decently fast animation. Comes out pretty fast. It does reload fairly quickly as well. Reloads in 4 seconds. So you can basically mix it in too. Even if you're not really going to land it. If you're trying to, like, cause or force the enemy to move, you can throw it out there to, again, help you conserve ammo for your beam rifle. Just because you have a lot of ammo doesn't mean you should just burn through it for your beam rifle. Because remember, your bazooka is going to reload completely in those 4 seconds. The beam rifle, you have to wait for it to recharge. So if you're going overboard on it, you're going to find yourself out of ammo and unable to mount an offense. The only thing that's not so great about it is the shot speed is kind of mediocre. The tracking is also, the bullet speed is not exactly all that fast. The tracking is kind of mediocre. It's mainly used to combo from main. So, for example, you'll go 1, 2, 3. And that's a basic combo right there. And again, it's live ammo, so beam weaponry will cancel it out. Any type of beam shot, a Garobi, things of that nature are going to nullify it. Next, we'll cover the special shooting, or A and C, or main and boost. Sub, well, like I mentioned earlier, which is A and B, that's shooting and melee at the same time. So special shooting is A and C, shooting and jump, or boost, and that'll be the Beam Javelin. Beam Javelin has 3 different levels, 1, 2, 3. Each one does more damage. Level 1 is 90. Level 2 is 140. And level 3 is 190. It takes about half a second per stage. It's infinite ammo. As you can see at the bottom right, you don't see it anywhere. You could just spam it as much as you want. It doesn't matter. So you can definitely use this to conserve ammo. Even when you're overheated, you can also hold charge. You can hold it like that if you want to. So this is definitely something that you can use as a stalling tool if you need to. As you see here. So definitely take advantage of that if you need to stall a little bit. Now, the other thing that's really good about it is it does have very good downwards guidance. This also includes when using it against people that are doing fast falls, or Talkies 3 or Wing Zero's downward dive, which is 2B, which is their 2B down dive. Just remember, while you're holding it down, it will be consuming boost the entire time you're holding it, so please be aware of that. The other thing that's kind of bad about it is that it will not hit targets that are too high above you, because as you can see, you're throwing it up at an angle. So that covers that for the Beam Javelin. From there, the next move we're going to cover would be its special melee, which is B and C. That would be the assist call. You have a total of 3 of them. Let me just burst so I can just reload my ammo real quick. So if you do neutral BC or 5 BC, you're going to summon the Core Fighter. The Core Fighter can do anywhere from 5 to 152 damage. The Core Fighter will fly forward firing its Vulcans. If you do forward or back BC, 2 or 8 BC, then you will call the gun tank. Or excuse me, the gun cannon, excuse me. Gun cannon does 82 damage. The gun cannon will run at the target. It'll try to grab them and then fire the cannons at point blank. And then last but not least, let me just reset so we can do it faster. Last but not least, we will have 4 or 6 BC or side BC to summon the gun tank. Gun cannon does 82 damage. The gun tank does 152 damage as well. Excuse me. Now, interesting thing about the gun cannon, right? The gun cannon fires several shots, as you just noticed. But here's the thing about this assist. This is easily the best assist the suit has. The reason being is because all three of those shots, right? Each of those shots, the gun tank will readjust its aim. So in this game, if you do a sidestep, as you see here, when you start a sidestep, you break enemy tracking. So you'd have to do that 3 times to make sure that you're not going to get hit by the gun tank assist. So that makes it extremely powerful. So honestly, like out of the 3 assists, the gun tank should be the one you should be using more than anything else. Like you can combo off a bit off of main, and then the gun cannon one might be something you can use. Or yeah, the gun cannon might be something you'll use up close to like stall them. Like let's say for example you landed a Javelin or something, you can call the gun cannon to go ahead and grab them and stall them out, and like that you can force a 2v1. But you can also do the same thing with gun tank if you have to. But you know those are just some ideas that you can do with it. Now for that pretty much covers all of its basic moves. The suit does not have a CSB. The suit does not have any power-up modes. Now, for cancel routes, like I mentioned before, you can do main into sub, main into Javelin, main into assist. You can do bazooka into the Javelin. And that about covers it. So that goes ahead and covers the cancel routes. Next, we are going to cover some basic melee. So first things first, I'm not going to cover every possible combo in this game for the Gundam because 1, I'm not that good in this game when it comes to melee. 2, that would make this video way too long, which would be against the conciseness that I want to keep. And because in this video's description, I will be including links to a combo showcase that another YouTuber has done, which is far better than what I'm going to do. I'll just simply point you to that video and also the Japanese wiki where you'll be able to get all the information you can so that you can go ahead and optimize. What I do want to still cover, though, however, is some basics. So depending on which button you press, let me just kill him now because he has no health, that's going to determine what move you do. As you see here, like I just did. Now, we're going to start off with 5B, the basic swing. You can do that up to 3 times. Does 173 damage. It's a basic 3-hit melee. You can also cancel into BC, right? BC, like we did earlier, BC is calling an assist, but when you're doing a melee combo, it actually has a different motion. So you see here, you'll bounce off of them and force them down. So you can do that out of just about anything that you're doing with melee before you do an ender for most combos. So let me show you here. Let's see, you can't do it up the ender, I believe. Too fast. Yeah, you can't do it off of 5BBB. But you can do it before the ender, you can. 1, 2, BC, and you'll do the ender, which is the jump off, the hop off. You can do it after 1. See there. You saw me miss right there, actually, but you did it. And like I said, as long as you press A with some decent timing, you can do the beam shot finisher. Honestly, just mash. You don't need to do anything fancy with that with timing. Just mash. If you do 5B and then BC, you'll do 137 damage. If you do 5B, BC, and then main, you'll do 181 damage. So that's actually very quick and easy. So it's not as easy to cut when you're doing that. So it keeps you moving. If you do 5BB into BC, it's 180. If you do 5BB, BC into main, you'll do 213. Like you see there. So really simple for some really basic damage. From there, we're going to go into 8B, which is the thrust stab. It's one hit. It's one move, and that's it. So when you do that, you want to do this. If you do it quickly enough, you can do the BC move out of it too. but you got to do it before the move ends. I believe it's about 3 hits. Yeah, it's about 3 hits. So do it before the 3 hits land, and you'll go ahead. No, actually, you can't do all 3 hits. Never mind. You time it properly. And then, of course, like before, you can go ahead and combo into the main afterwards. No effort, no effort, no effort. Next, you have 4-6B, which is side melee with the Hyper Hammer. This one actually has pretty good performance. It's actually really good to hit them with. This one has pretty good range, starts up pretty fast, has very good range. 4-6B is actually one move. That's just one move. You don't have to press it twice. So it's 4-6BB. That'll end the actual move into the closer. That's it right there. So you do that once it hits once or twice from that initial swing, that you can cancel into BC and go right into main. 2B is a counter. It's 80 damage if it lands. It also does block shots, like I mentioned before. Last but not least, you also have CC8B. C is boosting, obviously. So that's your side melee. That right there, that is your CC8B. So that one, you can do that up to 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Does about 180 damage total if it's not taking into account guts. And like I said, just for this one too, on that second slash, you time it properly, you hit BC, you can do the BC ender. Now, the last thing we got to cover for the suit, and that'll wrap it up for us, will be its super move. The super move is, of course, the last shooting, the iconic move that it did at the end of the anime. So, this is personally one of the best supers in the game, in my opinion. The reason being is because, as you just saw, it's super fast. It's just very basic, very simple. So a lot of supers in this game, they tend to be really flashy or they leave you wide open. This one is just, you're going to run up to be going to hit them, you're going to throw them up, shoot them once, that's it. So this super, last shooting, will do damage depending on your burst. It'll do 288 if you're in fighting burst, 280 if you're in extend burst, and 295 if you're in shooting burst. And that covers all of its moves. So my personal opinion on this suit, and I want to emphasize this is an opinion. This is a safe pick to learn the game. It's not the strongest, but if you're learning a new suit and you're struggling, you can always fall back on this suit because it has just about everything that this game has as far as techniques or, mechanics, with the exception of a fast fall, and that's kind of covered in shooting burst anyway. You have this, which is good for beginners to get away, to make up for veneering, which is an early pitfall of the game. Of course, you don't want to rely on it, but it's kind of nice to have in a pinch anyway. You can't go wrong with this suit. Like I said, I think it's a perfectly fine suit to start the game off with, and even then, even later as you become more experienced, you can still do perfectly fine with this suit. So definitely give this suit a chance. If you're starting out, if you've never played this suit before, but you have played this game, same thing. Give this suit a go. You can't really go wrong with it. It's not a terrible suit. It is in the B tier. As long, from what I've been told, as long as your suit isn't C tier, you're fine. And even then, if you're playing the game casually, anything works. So last thing I wanted to touch on is I wanted to go ahead and again mention what I have for external links. Once this video goes up on YouTube, there will be in the video description. You're going to find links for information about lore if you're interested in that sort of thing for the Gundam and for Amuro. You'll also find match videos by the YouTuber Minato CH and Sloth Cakes. And you'll also see a melee combo exhibition, which is posted by Minato CH and featuring, let me see, who is the player featured in that video. The combo guide is by the Minato CH channel, and it is being executed by SSOSunhawk, which is a strong, high-level player in NA. So that goes ahead and covers everything for this suit. I hope you find this information useful. Again, I did not cover all the combos for melee. You can find that on the Japanese wiki if you feel the need to optimize. For an example of optimization, just so you can see what I'm talking about, right? You saw the basic combo I did earlier, right? 5 BBB. You don't have to do it that way. You can go like this. You can do a step and do another combo, as long as you know how many hits you've landed before you go ahead and finish off. So that's the kind of information that you'll be looking for when it comes to fully optimizing your combo. So that covers everything. Once again, I am Densuo. I am North America's King of Salts, and I will see you on the next video. Like and subscribe.